afternoon, I'm Rachel and you're watching Eating Clean. Today we're going to be making a vegetarian-friendly ratatouille of sorts, spicy with a lot of wonderful vegetables in it, and it can satisfy anyone. If you're having a get-together, if you're just feeding for yourself a quick snack, it will do the trick. And if you've got meat lovers that are eating it, they won't mind either because it's so packed with flavor. So, let's get started. Alright, now for this recipe you're going to need a few simple ingredients. Now, keep in mind that these can be changed whenever you like. It can fit your needs, it can, whatever you've got around the house that you think might be good, try it. I mean, you're the one who's going to be eating it. So you need some mushrooms, we have an onion, some celery, some different types of peppers. You're going to need lots of garlic, a little bit of zucchini, some paprika and some cayenne pepper, salt, and of course, the secret ingredient, canned tomatoes. That'll make everything juicy and wonderful. And if you want to turn this into a wrap, which is an option, a variant at the end if you'd like, there's a regular tortilla. So, let's get started. Now there's a bit of a trick to cutting onions so that you get that really nice fine dice that prevents anyone from getting a huge chunk of raw or just a little too overpowering onion in every bite. So you want to start by cutting in half with hopefully a sharper knife than this one. Now if you're a big onion fan like I am, you can use a whole half, you can use the whole thing. I think we're only going to go with about a quarter. So you want to set it down and make sure that you've cut lengthwise, keeping the cores intact. Then, if you just give it a chop in half, you can get ready to go. Now this is the point where I usually end up peeling the onion just to make sure that you don't get any of that nasty paper in it. Now, here's the tricky part. You want to make sure that you cut through towards the core, which you've left intact, obviously, without cutting the core itself. That way, you get something that kind of looks like that. And then when you cut through it across, you get a fairly even dice. Don't be afraid of onions, and if you're worried about the tear factor, what you can do is an old trick is to bite down on a wooden spoon, but in lieu of a wooden spoon, you can just grate your teeth, and honestly, that prevents any tears. Some people like to mince their garlic. I don't. I like to mush it up into a paste. Seems to work better. Like we're just about ready to go. You can start off putting your onions and your garlic in because they want to caramelize a bit, get working. What that'll do is get it nice and sweet without the bitterness that you usually get associated with onions. A lot of people like to use olive oil. You don't have to. While that gets going, I'm just going to cut up all my other vegetables. Everything into fairly even chunks so that it cooks at about the same rate. Look at that. The brown stuff at the bottom of the pan isn't something to be afraid of. It's just the sugar's coming out of the onions. It'll add big flavor when you deglaze it with either tomato sauce or just a little bit of water. I want to scrape it and get all the good stuff up off the bottom. Right. Now is as good a time as any to add the vegetables in. You can start with your celery because they're going to take the longest to soften up. Gets ready, I'm going to open my canned tomato.
Thanks, Mr. Buckley.
As you'll notice, we have some more caramelized caramelization going on at the bottom of the pan. And instead of using water this time, we're going to use the juice off the tomatoes. Just enough to pick everything up, and then the rest you can drain off into the sink. Okay, so what we have here is a can of regular whole spiced tomatoes. You can use regular tomatoes, you can use whole tomatoes that are fresh. This time of year they're not so good, so I try to avoid them, but you can also use the diced canned tomatoes. Anything works. So now that my tomatoes are open, we can just toss in the rest of the vegetables, and eventually we can add those as our final element. So right before we throw in the tomatoes, you can just give in a pinch of paprika, a pinch of cayenne pepper if you really like it hot, and just a little bit of salt to perk everything up. Let it work for about 5 minutes, and then you'll be ready to put it in a wrap. It's ratatouille without the eggplant. Now this is a super versatile recipe. You can use it for just about anything. Some people like it on top of fish. You can use it as a base for a stew or even a soup. It goes good just with toast. In this case, we're going to put it on a bit of a tortilla wrap, like kind of a ratatouille wrap. Just as simple as that, you've got a healthy, vegetarian-friendly meal ready to go. It can be a good snack.